Hello YouTube viewers, another toy review, and since this video is it's a really long video and I'm having really bad troubles or problems with YouTube with uploading videos over like 10 minutes, I have to redo this review. So yeah, today we are reviewing Godzilla's most troublesome opponent. He's fought him 4 times technically in 3 movies. By that you guys should know it is the legendary Final Wars 12-inch Gigan. Yeah, it is the Gigan. Yeah, very, very cool. And I'm gonna yeah, I need that light. Okay. Wait. How do I do that? There we go. You know what? That should be fine for you guys. What do you guys think? Either way, so, yeah. Final Wars 12-inch Bandai Creations Gigan. Just back this up just to get him, most of them in the full view for you guys. Now, so, I don't think I really need to explain his whole history, just maybe some of it. Sorry, I really have to move this camera around since he is so big and I can't decide if I want that light on or not, but you know what, I'm just gonna leave it on. Okay, so as I said, Bandai Creation, his history. Well, in the movie he is got like moss or something around him and he's just trapped there by the humans. So, or Global Defense Force or whatever you want to call him. And he's got M-base in him, which the mutants in that movie have. And I forgot some of their names, so yeah. So what happens is that I'm just gonna call him, well, his name is X. The alien's name. So Alien X comes and, well, he doesn't go there, but he's in his spaceship after he finally wants to destroy it after killing his father. So he releases Gigan and he goes out on a little rampage. You see his new beam attack where it's kind of like the old one. It shoots, but then it turns into like little spark things and explodes around the target rather than just going. It's really cool. So that happens. So then the Gotengo goes to Area G, or Area Godzilla, if I'm correct. And the Gotengo has a little tiny fight with him. He gets him down, they shoot the missiles, let Godzilla up, and they fight. Now, these things right here shoot out and do a cable around Godzilla, and because they're on ice, starts to pull him towards where he will use his blade to chop him up pretty bad. But Godzilla, of course, being the main character, cannot die, and also this Gigan was much easier to defeat. All he had to do was blow his breath, and ba-boom! This is what you get. A headless Gigan. He falls over. The next we see of Gigan in that movie is when he comes out in chainsaw mode, which I do not have a figure. But these 3 spikes right here are not there, and it's just a metal brace. These are changed, and these are changed with like little tiny saw things in between them, and they're much more bigger. And his hands are chainsawed. So he comes out, and Mothra's there, so he fights Mothra, cutting off a chip of her wing, and she falls, and she pretty much dies almost. Then he goes and fights with Monster X against Godzilla. And they do have a okay battle together, of course, because Monster X is there and he's more important than Gigan. Mothra comes up from behind and hits them both over. they start off the battle again where he launches from right there. If you can see those that little line right there, he shoots out these little things. Mothra dodges them, and while she's using her wings to use her scale attack like she did in the last movie, and then he blows her up with his beam a little bit, and it makes like a giant explosion. From what you see the beams come out, and it chops off his head. He turns back around. Mothra uses her, I don't think it has a special name, but she starts on fire and just blows him up. Runs right in through him. That's the last we see of Gigan. Of course, he is in the costume making of the new Godzilla Wars game coming out. That looks pretty good for that. I hope I didn't ruin that for any of you. I thought it was going to be a series, but it was just a okay thing. It was Godzilla Millennium vs. Gigan 2004, Rodan 2004, Anguirus. Well, it's not Rodan, but Rodan's in the game, but it was Anguirus. And then they also fought 2001. King Ghidorah. So, yeah. Alright, so let's skill them up with a few figures. Of course, the only Bandai Creation 10-inch/12-inch I have, Gojira. Yeah. I say this is okay, but again, Gigan should be either the same height or even a little bit bigger. So, he needs to be a little bit bigger. Just a tad bit. Of course, here he is in Bandai form. This doesn't work good at all. Here's the 6-inch Godzilla 2004. Not good at all. I mean, some people might actually say if you wanted Godzilla to be like 70 meters and him like 100 or something, this would be okay, but yeah. Now here's one thing. This monster, of course, probably still won't work too good with him, but to me it looks pretty good because he is an undersized figure. King of Mons. Because he's supposedly 120. If he's supposed to be 80, you know, this looks pretty good. I mean, King of Mons should be like that big then, but, you know, it's okay. Now, with the whole confusion of him being 120 and the Ultraman monsters being 40-50 meters, this could really work out good. Yeah, I would say this is amazingly good for EX Gamora. If he's supposed to be 44 and he's supposed to be 120 to the tip of this, up here, I say this is excellent. This is excellent if you want it actual size, but there's not too many 10-inch Godzilla figures out there. Or 12-inch or whatever. So, with the scaling that stuff done, I'll get on to detail. The one thing I do not like about this is that they made the same mistake. You know, that. But on the other hand, if you notice on their 6-inch Gigan, up here was like rough, and the tail was smooth. Well, now they got it correct, and they got this all like chopped up and all that stuff. They actually got a few of the blades separated too, so it looks really deadly. And he looks deadly either way. I mean, look at that. In a movie or something that I might have this, could have him just come up and go on a monster. Totally gore him or something, but I wouldn't really do that. Might just cut him like, yeah. Just look at all the nice detail and paint. I mean, they got blue/green highlights all over the place on this guy. He is really good. I mean, they even put the little disc shooting things on there, which I just noticed a little bit ago. One thing I really like about it, though, is that it's actually improved. The horn and head looks correct. The feet aren't pudgy and fat, and they look really nice. And these aren't, like, fat either, so, you know, he's, like, 10 times better. And he just looks a lot more cooler, too, because you don't really see a Gigan in a battle pose. Not like this one, anyway. This is ultimate. This is, like, the best Gigan out there now. Of course, the teeth are a little... They're not, like, all separate. They're not, like, all individually sculpted, but they look individually sculpted, and they look pretty good, too. Okay, so, on to articulation. This guy has 8 points. arms go up and down, not 360 because of these, but you know, you can forget about that. The legs go 360. The head goes 360. Of course, pops out, and like I showed you earlier, his head can pop out, so it might just be with mine because it's really loose. See, just popped out right there too. Okay. The tail actually has articulation. Of course, you have to move the legs out. It can go 360, but you have to really force it. Yeah, it's got articulation. You have to pull this out though, because this is part of the body. So pull it out and move it. Now, the tail will occasionally pop out. Some people say their tails are loose. That's with every Gigan figure. All of them are, they just pop out, see? They move like that. And my two favorite ones, the wrists. So, you know, you can have them go whoosh. Or, like Deadzilla did in his video. This. Okay. There's no problem with this. But, you know, they could have made a lot more money if they would have made this a chainsaw Gigan. So, if they would have made this a chainsaw Gigan, it would be much more rare and much more desirable. But, you know, having a normal Gigan can also add to your, you know, normal Gigan stage. But I say they should have made this a chainsaw Gigan, or make a chainsaw Gigan for like a special limited edition one or something in the future. Because it would be really cool, even though the pose wouldn't really work for a chainsaw Gigan. Because, you know, he wasn't in too many poses that were like this. And mine also has these bent. For some reason, these bend really, like, easy. The tips will bend, and they'll stay like that. But that could just be mine. So overall, I give this figure a 10 out of 10 because it's amazing. So, and just because the paint job's good. Of course, there's still this mistake that they could have redone, you know, but I wouldn't blame them. I haven't seen this much colored just like this blue too much on a Godzilla figure or even a vinyl figure too much, so I could get why it, you know, they wouldn't do that. Especially because, you know, still it's okay without them. I won't custom paint it unless I get a second one, but I don't really want to get a second one unless I want to custom make a chainsaw Gigan, but that would be a lot. So, yeah, a 10 out of 10, and I will see you guys next time.